Marriage. That most happiest of all events when a man and a woman join to become husband and wife, eternally bonded in love and happiness for the rest of this life. And the next one, joy, bliss, eternal love. Here on this perfect summer day in Iowa of the year 1959, not one but two unions made in marriage on the exact same day. In Davenport, the Henry wedding. Daniel Henry will begin medical school at the University of Iowa in the fall at the ripe young age of 18. Wow! He is the son of questionably legal immigrants Brunhilde and Henry and the younger of two boys. His older brother Michael Henry has yet to accomplish anything. Daniel is wedded to Ruth Gundley, daughter of Davenport millionaire Thomas Gundley, who is pursuing her second master's degree at the University of Iowa. She is presented by herself. And in nearby Iowa City, the Lawrence wedding. Abigail Abby Peck and Mason Lawrence Jr. were high school sweethearts. She was a cheerleader and president of the Home Economics Club, and he was the quarterback of the high school football team. Abby is presented by her mother, Dorothy, who steps in for her father, who left the family 12 years ago without leaving a note, giving a reason, or ever returning. Also supporting the new bride is her older, less attractive sister, Cheryl. What an exciting day for everyone. What must be going on in their heads?
A lot of girls my age have dreams and ambitions, but I've always wanted to be a wife and a mother.
Well, high school was over, and I didn't know what I should do with my life. So I proposed my girlfriend.
I think of marriage as a novelty.
I just hope that when our first child is born in 7 months, my mother doesn't do the math.
The parents, too, must be happy indeed to send off their children into their matrimonial futures.
I've always said, if a girl doesn't get married by the time she's 18, it'll never happen.
That's not true.
It is true, and you can't argue with it, or at least you won't become an old maid, and at least you didn't marry one of those homosexuals like her sister did.
Mother!
Cheryl's husband is a queen.
No, he's not.
18 is the only age to get married. I got married when I was 18.
And your husband left you alone with 2 kids.
I didn't say anything to offend you.
You said Dixon was...
The good news is, she's rich.
The bad news is, she's a whore.
Oh, and also, my father won't speak in public. He's self-conscious about his accent. He's from Germany and, well, we don't talk about it.
Okay, and certainly the brothers and sisters are sharing in the joy of their newly wedded siblings.
Ugh, I just want to puke all over her gown.
What joyous wonderment! But a successful marriage doesn't just begin at the altar. First, you must find a proper companion. Many young girls ask,
Where and how can I find a nice boy who is handsome, can take care of me, and is firm but not harsh when I need it?
and many young boys ask,
Where can I find a young girl, cook my meals, clean my house, and raise my children?
well, it can happen at any time and place. But one should hope that it doesn't happen too late. As the young boy turns into a young man, the girls will wonder what is wrong with him that no other girl has married him. This happens at age 25. As the young girl gets older, she will begin to lose her attractiveness and youthful appearance. This happens at age 20. Let's take a look and see how our happy newlyweds first became acquainted.
I've known Mason since elementary school, and I always thought of him as handsome, but I never thought of him as a boyfriend before.
I think she was intimidated by me because I was the quarterback of the high school football team. A lot of girls were.
It was after school one day, and I was crying.
Abby?
Oh, Mason! I didn't see you there.
Are you crying?
No. My eyes were just watering.
I don't think your eyes were just watering. I think you were crying.
Really?
Yes.
Well, maybe I was crying a little.
Are you sad about something?
As a matter of fact, Mason, I am sad about something.
Do you mind if I ask what you're sad about?
Okay.
What are you sad about?
I'm just kidding. Well, you see, Mason, prom is coming up, and Jimmy Nelson asked me to be his date, and I said yes. But then some of the girls just told me they packed him under the bleachers with some tramp of a whore. And they were doing more than just necking.
Can I confide something in you?
Of course.
That tramp of a whore is my girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend. I'm the one who caught them.
How terrible.
It's been a very upsetting day.
Well, needless to say, we're not going to prom together anymore. I mean, Who knows what he would have tried on me if we went together.
I can't believe what some kids your age are doing with each other. I wouldn't want to go to prom with a girl who wanted to do more than just necking anyway.
I know, I feel the same way.
Say, Abigail, can I ask you something? Pardon me if this is being too forward.
No, of course not. You can ask me anything you want.
Well, you see, I'm looking for a date to prom too now, you know? And I was wondering if maybe you'd go with me? I wouldn't try anything on you, I swear.
Despite temptations from many of the popular boys at school, young girls should resist engaging in any physical behavior that may damage their reputation. This includes necking and heavy petting with any boy who is not her steady boyfriend. No respectable boy will date a girl who is easy and has loose morals.
Well, I was a 16-year-old freshman in college. I used to do independent research in the chemistry lab late at night for extra credits.
I was 23, and in my first year working towards my master's degree in chemistry, I studied in the lab late at night as well.
I had noticed her before.
And boy, did I notice him.
I remember the first time she spoke to me.
What? How do I... Oh my god!
Are you having some trouble over there?
I just don't get it.
Well, what's the matter?
Nothing. It's just this experiment.
Oh, yes.
You look a little young for college.
I'm 16. I skipped 2 years of school.
Adorable.
Yeah, thanks.
What's your name?
Oh, Danny.
I'm Ruth.
Oh, Ruth, that's my favorite book of the Bible.
Let's not talk about the Bible. Can I borrow your pencil?
Yeah, sure, yeah. You can keep it.
Do you know what that's called? Oral sex. Ever done it before?
No.
Do you have much experience in women?
No.
Let me see your glasses.
Why? Actually, I need those.
How can you be so cute?
I don't know.
No, I like you without them.
But I need those. I can't see anything.
You must have worked so hard in high school. Bet you never even kissed a girl.
I went to the military. Please.
Maybe you can help me keep my mind off of chemistry for a little while.
Oh, seriously now, I just... Oh, God. I can't see without my glasses. Can I have my glasses back, please?
Sure.
I've never felt a girl's lips on my neck before.
How about we take a break and I'll show you where else they can go?
Here are some rules for dating. Boys, be on time to pick her up. Be courteous to her parents and open all doors. When conversing, remember not to bore her with talk of politics, business, art, or literature. You can't expect her to have the same intellectual pursuits that a boy does. Girls, put on a nice dress and makeup to look your best and keep good manners. At this stage, you must also try to begin to read books and a newspaper so that you can have something interesting to say. You can't get by with just a pretty face these days.
Oh, Mason, thanks for taking me out for milkshakes.
You're welcome, Abigail. I really like milkshakes. I really like spending time with you too.
Oh, and I had such a great time at the movies last night, and then afterwards listening to popular songs in your car on the ride home.
I did too. I've been thinking about you an awful lot.
I've been thinking about you an awful lot, too.
I've been thinking about you an awful lot ever since that day in the hall when I asked you out to prom.
I was so sad that day. But it just goes to show that bad times can lead to good things.
Great things. Say, Abigail, I've been thinking about something. Since I do like spending time with you, and I have been thinking about you an awful lot, I was wondering if maybe you'd like to go steady with me.
Going steady? I've never had a steady boyfriend before.
I've had 2 steady girlfriends. They didn't work out, but they weren't like you. What do you say?
Okay, Mason, I say okay.
Until a boy and a girl are going steady, they should not have more than 1 date a week. When they are going steady, they should keep a limit of 3 dates per week. Any more, and you risk boring each other. Nobody is that interesting.
What are you thinking about?
I was just thinking that I really like oral sex.
I was thinking about my childhood. I was born in the back of a pickup truck, but when I was 7, my father invented this tractor part and became a millionaire overnight. He kicked my mom out on the streets and keeps marrying all these young foreign women. Life really changed for us after that. It's amazing I ended up so good. Tell me about your life. I feel so close to you.
Okay. Well, I think my father worked for Hitler and had an active role to exterminate the Jews from Europe. He was a Nazi officer and fled to the United States shortly after the end of the war. I must have been born in Germany because I don't even have a birth certificate. He had an administrative position at one of the death camps and extensively tested the gas chambers. Really puts everything in perspective, huh?
And finally, there comes a point in dating when the boy must ask himself, will she be a good homemaker? Can she obey me? Are her hips conducive to childbirth? If the answer to all of these questions is yes, it is time for him to propose marriage.
Abigail, will you marry me?
Yes! We have to get married.
Wait, really?
I'm pregnant.
Huh.
The very first event in the lives of a married couple is that exciting post-marital vacation, the honeymoon. Ruth and Danny boarded a plane and flew to the Caribbean to celebrate their marriage. They are spending 2 weeks in private seclusion on the beaches of Jamaica. Thanks, Mr. Gundley. Abby and Mason are spending a weekend just outside of Des Moines. On the honeymoon, they will get to know each other more intimately, and on the first night, they will consummate the marriage. What's the matter, Abigail?
I'm a little nervous.
Nervous? About what?
Well, Mason's in the bathroom getting ready, and well, this is our wedding night.
Oh, I see.
And Mason and I have never done that before, and I don't know what to do. I mean, I want to please him, but I don't know how. I feel ashamed.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. Lots of young brides are nervous on their wedding night. It's a big event. Mason, are you also nervous about consummating your marriage?
Yes, extremely nervous.
That's perfectly normal.
I mean, I've always wanted to do that. I think about it a lot. She's so pure and innocent, it makes me feel dirty.
This is very common when the husband and wife have both remained pure and are virgins on their wedding night. Mason, why don't you sit down next to your wife? Are there any questions that I can help you with?
I have a question.
Well, go ahead, Abby. Ask away.
What happens? I mean, how does it work?
Allow me to explain. The physical act of sex itself consists of the intromission of the male organ into the vaginal passage of the female, which leads to climax or orgasm. Ordinarily soft and flaccid, the penis becomes firm, erect, and sufficiently rigid during sexual excitement to penetrate into the vagina. Female genitals, too, undergo certain changes. The walls of the vagina become congested, the vaginal orifice widens and even pouts to some degree, while the clitoris and smaller labia stiffen to become slightly erect. Simultaneously, the glands of the vulva secrete a slippery fluid which moistens the external genitals and facilitates the entry of the male. Fluid movements intensify erotic sensation and general tension until release is reached in the climax or orgasm.
Wow.
Oh, I'm also a little afraid because I've heard that it hurts. Is this true? And if it does, will it always hurt?
Another excellent question, Abigail. Any pain experienced is due to the actual stretching or breaking of the hymen, and the degree of discomfort depends largely on the texture and condition of this membrane. However, a patient approach by the husband, along with the cooperation and willingness to yield on behalf of the wife, can lessen the anguish of the first sexual contract.
Okay.
Do you feel better about it now that you know a little more?
I think so. Perhaps.
Why don't you give it a try then?
I guess we can try now.
Think I'm ready?
Let's see how Danny and Ruth are doing. Are you also nervous about consummating your marriage?
We're just not sure at what point in the pregnancy two people should stop having sex.
But it's our honeymoon. We're supposed to have sex.
I know, I just worry.
You're the doctor. You should know about these things.
An acceptance to medical school doth not a doctor make.
Well, I'm gonna start by myself. Feel free to join me.
Well, how did it go?
Well, I don't think it worked.
I see. Perhaps I can help. Why don't you first describe to me what you did before things began to go wrong?
Okay, well,
Well, first, we took took off all of our clothes.
Yes, and then I like got on the bed like this,
And then I got on top of her, like this.
and then he kissed me a little bit.
But we just couldn't get the puzzle pieces to fit.
Oh, I see. The success of a sexual interaction does require a certain level of relaxation on the parts of both parties. The pair might involve themselves in foreplay, like kissing, cuddling, or heavy petting to reduce tension. The female should lie on her back in an adequately relaxed posture, with her thighs separated and knees bent, slightly opening the vaginal orifice, tilting it upward, thereby allowing the male to penetrate with greater ease.
Okay.
Why don't you two try it again?
Do you want to try that?
Yes, I mean, I think we should, don't you?
Probably.
Better luck this time. And how are Danny and Ruth doing? Yes, how special. Sanctimonious, the honeymoon is. When a man transitions from bachelorhood into holy matrimony, he begins to learn and experience the joys of being a husband. Once solely responsible for taking care of his own self at all times, he now has a wife to do that for him. Now he comes home to a clean house with a warm dinner sitting on the table, prepared with love and ready to be eaten.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
Hi.
Is dinner ready?
I don't know, is it?
Didn't you make it?
No.
You didn't.
No, I don't know how to fucking make dinner. Do you want me to pick up the stove first?
The new husband also learns the joy of sharing time and the living space with the person he loves. A welcome adjustment after the solitude of bachelorhood.
This is great.
What is?
This, just this. Us.
Okay.
You want to listen to some music?
Not really.
Come on, let's listen to some music together.
Danny, I'm trying to read.
What about something classical?
You know I hate classical music, Danny.
Okay, well, what if we listen to something else?
No.
I'm okay if we listen to something else.
Danny, no.
I'll play whatever you want to listen to. Is there anything you want to listen to?
I want to listen to nothing.
Oh. I love you so much.
Along with the new joys of being a husband come adjustments to the lifestyle. Even though the husband is the head of the household, he must learn to compromise with his humble spouse.
Honey, is it okay if we have dinner a little later? There's some work I need to do at the hospital, and it'd be easy for me to stay there rather than have to go back after dinner.
I thought we agreed to have early dinner at 5.
I just don't have so much work to do. Can we just have a later dinner, say 8?
I wanted to have an early dinner so that I could get some studying done afterwards.
Okay, well, let's compromise. How about 7?
5.
Okay, what about 6:30? That's exactly in the middle.
5.
Come on, can't we just compromise?
5:05.
Wait, 6?
5:07.
Oh, come on, Ruth. We both have needs.
5:08.
Ruth.
10 after.
Fine.
You get 10 more minutes.
Daniel,
Yes.
I can't help but notice that you may be having some trouble with your wife.
Yeah.
Don't worry too much. Females, by their nature, are delicate and foolish creatures. It is normal for them to stumble in the early stages of learning to be a good wife. She must be taught. It is the husband's responsibility to teach her.
Well, the teacher.
That's right, Daniel. It is the man's job to teach her how to be an effective and obedient wife. Just like a child must be taught to assimilate into an adult world, the wife must be taught her role in a man's household. And sometimes good teaching requires firm discipline.
Discipline.
Does your wife behave?
Well.
Daniel,
No, she doesn't.
even though it is early in your marriage, it is important to teach her to behave and perform her duties.
What should I do?
Put your foot down. Let her know who is in charge. You go to work all day and work hard.
Well, I go to medical school.
Regardless, you spend the whole day working hard and making money, so
I don't actually make money. It costs money to go to school.
please pay attention. No, you work hard all day away from home. She must work hard all day within the home.
And she goes to school too, actually, so.
Listen to me, it doesn't matter. How would you control someone in your employ that wasn't doing their job? You put your foot down, you let them know who's boss. You alert them of possible repercussions, and if they continue to misbehave, you enact those repercussions. It is only the husband's fault if she never learns. A woman cannot teach herself.
Ruth?
Yeah?
When was the last time you vacuumed?
Never.
I'm a little concerned about the cleanliness of the home.
Excuse me?
Just think the house could be a little cleaner, that's all I'm saying.
Then clean it yourself.
How's that?
We'll come back to this. The ultimate great joy of being a new husband, of course, is the joy of physicalizing your love with your new wife. After a lifetime of abstinence, it may be the most enjoyable benefit of being a new husband.
Hey, honey,
Yes?
you want to should we go to bed?
Right now?
Yeah.
We have to be done in 15 minutes.
What?
I have a lot of reading to do.
But 15 minutes?
I have a lot of reading to do. This reading doesn't just do itself.
But just on the couch?
Hurry up, I don't have all night. I'm just gonna leave my shirt on.
Yes?
Is this what marriage is supposed to be like?
No. The joy of being a wife is that she now has acquired a full-time job as a homemaker. Hitherto leading a giddy and useless existence, her purpose is now clear. Here are some basic guidelines. Put on a nice skirt and blouse when working around the house and clean regularly. A homemaker can only be judged on exactly what her title implies, how well she makes her home. The homemaker's most important job is cooking for her husband. And look, happy newlywed Abigail Lawrence is preparing dinner just now. How's it going, Abby?
This is what I've always dreamed of. Living in a house all day, cleaning, cooking for Mason. I'm so happy, even if we don't have that much money.
And what are you making tonight?
Meatloaf, Mason's favorite.
Is this a special occasion?
Well, when I was planning out the meals for the rest of the week.
Just like a perfect homemaker.
Yes, every Sunday I sit down and I plan out the meals I'm gonna make for that week. Then I run straight out to the grocery store and buy everything I need.
And where did you learn to be such a perfect wife?
Why, from you, of course. I wasn't going to make a meatloaf. Originally, I was gonna make a casserole. But then I spoke to Mason on the phone and he didn't seem to be in a very good mood, so I ran straight out to the grocery store so I could prepare his favorite dish and cheer him up.
I hardly have to explain to Abby how important cooking is to a marriage. She must make sure he gets the right nutrients with vegetables and other proper dietary proportions, while at the same time keeping dinners interesting and fun, exciting both visually and in flavor.
I try to make new meals as often as I can, but I know what Mason really likes when he needs a favorite. He should be home any minute. I'd rather have dinner ready for him on the table rather than for him to have to wait for me to make it.
Any good wife would.
They probably held him late at work for some reason. You know, he works for his father's construction company. They build houses. I should probably put the food in the oven so it doesn't get cold. I'm sure he'll be home any minute. I found that doing a crossword puzzle is a great way to pass the time or to take a break from doing housework.
They keep your mind sharp, too.
So I can have interesting things to say to my husband.
It is, of course, very normal to have trouble early on in your marriage. It is typical, and in fact often recommended, to seek advice during this period. And luckily, there are two very special people to whom you may go for guidance, who have had plenty of marriage success. Your parents.
But my parents had a terrible marriage and my father left us when I was 6.
There are two very special people to whom you may go for guidance, who have had plenty of marriage success. Your parents.
That must be Abigail just coming over.
You have stolen from me! Hi, Mom. Oh, Cheryl. I didn't realize you were over here.
Cheryl's upset because her husband is homosexual, so she always has to have a cause.
Mother has stolen my own personal property because she hates people who aren't exactly like she is.
I don't know why she has to be so overdramatic about everything.
What's the matter, Cheryl? I bought paint and cardboard specifically to make signs so young people will come and vote in the upcoming caucuses.
So they're both Catholic.
And Mother stole
I
them.
didn't steal them. I hid them.
Forever. Which is stealing.
For a long time, which is hiding.
Abby, will you consider coming to the political rally on campus with me this Thursday? No, I don't think Mason would want me to go to that. Now you listen to me. There is only one man running for president who can stop the Russians in the Cold War and fight for peace and prosperity.
If Kennedy is elected president in less than 3 years' time, it'll be the Spanish Inquisition happening all over again.
How am I related to you?
Abby came over to talk about something important. Now, what's going on, Abigail? What's the matter?
Well, Mason didn't come home for dinner last night, and he didn't call to say he was going to be late or anything. He just didn't come home till after I went to bed. I'm really worried, Mother. How is this more important than the election?
Did you say anything when he came home this morning?
All I said was that dinner from last night was in the fridge, and if he wanted to take it to work for lunch, he could. I bought that paint myself. Why don't you just go buy some more? Oh, shut up, Abby. That's not the point. You don't know anything.
Cheryl.
I didn't know what to do last night. I tried calling his work, but no one picked up, and I've never spent an evening alone at home before.
Did everything seem all right up till now?
Yes, I think it did. I think most wives would be happy he came home at all. What does this mean?
He probably just needed his alone time. It's normal.
Why didn't he just tell me? I would have understood.
They go to work all day. They come home. They need their alone time.
Just like Dad, right?
Just like Dixon.
Oh, please don't trivialize my marriage problems by comparing them with her little one night. Everything is perfect for her. So he came home late from work. The constant threat of nuclear war isn't gonna suddenly disappear because of some ridiculous, petty domestic issue.
Sometimes I don't even know if the Catholics are any better than the communists. Abby, please continue.
He didn't come home. He didn't say why. What did I do wrong?
Nothing. He just needed his alone time. It's normal.
Should I ask him about it?
No. Don't do that. Then he'll just think you're nagging at him and want to stay away even more. And you don't want that now, do you?
No.
Sometimes men just need their alone times, and wives are just better off not knowing. They have to have lives of their own, and I think sometimes a wife is just better off not knowing.
So you're saying you're better off that Dad left you and said nothing and you have no idea where he is or what he's doing? You think that's okay and that you're better off?
I think you're better off not knowing what Dixon's doing alone in that tent with that boy from high school he went to Africa with.
Dixon is doing missionary work and helping people.
There are only 2 reasons why a man leaves the wife to go work for the church, and Dixon's the other one. Everything's fine, Abby. It's normal. Let it be.
A young husband may have trouble teaching his wife how to behave early on in their marriage, often as a result of not being able to understand her. Indeed, a wife can be a confusing, mysterious creature. Luckily, there is one person he may go to for help in uncovering this mystery. In fact, this person is a former new wife herself, his mother.
Actually, Ruth and I are having dinner with my parents tonight.
Well, that's perfect. I guess you can talk to her then, can't you?
Goodman. He's Jewish.
I know.
We really appreciate your bringing the sauerkraut.
She's never made it before.
It was very interesting to learn how to make something new.
You can really tell when it's made by a real German.
Ruth isn't German, Mother.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You can really tell when it's his. What do you do, Ruth?
Oh, I'm in graduate school. I'm studying for my master's degree in psychology, and I also have a master's degree in chemistry.
Henry used to be involved in chemistry.
Why don't I take some places to the kitchen?
Dinner was lovely.
Here, Joseph.
Oh, that's not true. It was great.
More effort is made when we have important guests.
Daniel, why don't you help with the dishes?
Actually, there's something I would like to talk to Mother about.
Good. That's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Ruth, do you mind helping? Mother,
Your wife is pregnant?
No, she isn't.
How many months along is she?
5.
How long have you been married?
3.
Thank you. Now, what did you
Actually, I have a question for you.
Fine.
I'm having some trouble, I think, with Ruth.
Yeah, you can get the marriage annulled. I've already spoken with Henry, and he supports this.
What?
Your wife was pregnant when you married her.
By me.
That information is not important.
I'm having some trouble with her, and I think it's because I don't really understand her.
Men should not have trouble controlling their wives.
I know, but sometimes I think I do.
No, well, that is not unclear.
Maybe if I just understood her better, or women in general.
Do men understand dogs? Certainly not better than women, but they control them.
Mother, what did
No, it is not important anyhow. Deficiency has always been your most prominent characteristic. Michael has always been the better son. I do not think Ruth can be controlled. I'm very certain you have made an enormous error. Again, not surprising.
Thanks for the advice.
Talk to your brother about advice.
What?
Freud says that boys grow up to marry virgins of their own mothers.
That's disgusting.
Once they have learned the joys of marriage, the newlywed couple must start a family. It is widely thought that husbands and wives cannot lead complete lives without knowing fatherhood and motherhood, respectively. For women, rearing children is their entire point of being.
I have great news.
What's that, Abby?
I'm pregnant.
That's wonderful!
Oh yes, I'm so excited. I just found out this morning. I haven't had a chance to tell Mason yet. Oh, it's so incredible. It's actually pretty miraculous, actually, because, well, we've only had intercourse 9 times, and I'm still not quite sure that we're doing it right.
It only takes one time.
I can't wait to tell Mason.
Nothing is more thrilling for a husband than when his wife tells him that he's going to be a father.
This is the worst thing. This is the worst possible thing that could possibly be happening to me right now. This is a joke. Please tell me this is some kind of cruel, sick joke that is not funny. Not funny.
It's not a joke. We're gonna have a baby.
Well, I hope it can make its own money.
It's only gonna be a baby for a while.
I have to make money so I can eat. Why can't it make money so it can eat? I just need to take a walk. Hopefully, when I get back, I will have thought of something, or you just will not be pregnant anymore.
I think he's excited.
The first pregnancy can be a magical period of love between spouses and anticipation for the new child. There may be some obstacles, though, as women who are pregnant are often fraught with moodiness and emotional fragility. But at what stage of life aren't these feeble creatures fraught with moodiness and emotional fragility?
Ethan, get this thing out of me!
What's the matter?
and I just vomited.
Can I get anything for you?
A loaded gun so I can blow my head off.
Oh, don't say that.
I just need to indulge in something. I want macaroni and cheese. With butterscotch. And I want you to put gin in it. And I want you to fuck me while I eat it. That will make me feel better. You feel it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so incredible to think there's a little human being inside you that's going to grow up and be an adult.
It has to eat food so it can grow, and we have to buy it food so it can eat.
Of course.
Does it save money if you breastfeed?
I don't know if I want to breastfeed.
It's gotta save something.
I don't know if I want to.
It's free though. It's definitely free.
I'm so looking forward to being a mother. Aren't you looking forward to being a father?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to stay home all day and be a mommy.
That reminds me of something I wanted to talk to you about.
Yes?
How would you feel about getting a job?
Finally, the culmination of the pregnancy is that fateful day in the hospital when a new life is brought into the world in peace and harmony.
Jesus Christ! Get this thing out of me!
The trucks are getting closer.
This is the worst thing that has ever happened to me in life! I hate this day! I hate this day!
How are you feeling?
Fine. How's Mason?
The nurse gave him some graham crackers and orange juice.
Hurts a little bit.
Oh, how can you be complaining?
I'm not complaining.
I wish I could have children, but I can't.
You're not bearing. She acts like she's bearing.
My husband's been living in Africa for the past year. How do you expect me to have children?
I don't think Mason wants to have this baby.
I wish that were the extent of my problem.
Plenty of men get faint in the delivery room, think nothing of it.
Hey, okay.
How are you feeling?
Like you could drive a truck through my vagina, shit!
She's beautiful.
She is, isn't she?
We have a girl. We have a girl.
Trust me.
Oh, this is amazing. Oh, I love you so much.
So what do we do with it?
How are you feeling?
Better? Lightheaded though, still very lightheaded. I think I might throw up again, I can't tell. How are you?
Wonderful.
When people talk about fainting, I had no idea there was pain involved. I mean, I felt like there was all this weight being pushed down on me even when I came to. Just awful.
She's sleeping. You want to hold her?
Sure.
Isn't she beautiful?
Yeah,
She's ours.
I know. She's ours.
Once just two pairs of fresh-faced newlyweds, now our subjects have transitioned into being new parents. How they have changed. Now, having conquered the obstacles that come with adapting to their new roles as husband and wife, they are deep into their marriage and face the new challenges that come with raising children. But stress not. Daunting as it may seem, most parents say that once they've had children, they grow closer to each other and any previous problems in their marriage miraculously disappear.
Happy birthday to Ashley. Happy birthday to you.
I don't know where he could possibly be.
Did he say anything when he left the house this
He
morning?
knew the party was today.
Maybe he's running late.
He should have been here when the party started. He knew it was today, and I have to go to my class, and poor Ashley.
Poor Ashley, she's one. She doesn't know the difference. Maybe you show up. I'm worried about Abby.
What's she got to worry about?
Mason's not here, and he said he would be, and she has to go to one of her nursing school classes.
Women in China don't even have the right to vote. They are practically slaves.
Who said anything about China?
So are women in America, for that matter. Slaves to their husbands, slaves in the kitchen.
Says the woman who can't keep her husband around.
Who says the woman when his husband left her alone with 2 kids?
He stuck around longer than Dixon did.
Dixon did not leave me.
Where is he then?
Africa. At least I know where he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to miss my class. You know, it was actually Mason's idea for me to join nursing school in the first place.
At least he's allowing you to have a career. That's more than most women in America have ever been able to say. Except for Emily Post, who hated her own sex enough to outdo St. Paul.
This is about Abby right now.
It's always about Abby.
All the mothers must be out there thinking, look at her. Can't even get her husband to show up to her own daughter's birthday party.
Abby.
You know, it's never been something important. Never when he promised he'd be here.
Cheryl, why don't you go check and party? Make sure everything's okay.
Everything's fine. Why don't you go to
Why don't you just go? Abigail, go. And we'll stay until he comes.
Okay. Thank you. If there's any leftover cake, you can just go ahead and put that in the refrigerator, you know. You don't have to clean the decorations up or anything. I just don't do this clothes. Mom, I think I know why he's gone.
Why?
Mason sometimes gets distressed about having to take care of Ashley and about having enough money and I think that maybe he doesn't want to have this kid and maybe he doesn't want to think about it and maybe that's why he's not here.
We're happy to say no.
Oh, everything's fine.
Don't check again.
Sometimes it just feels like all I am is a burden on people.
We're happy to say no, Jimmy.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry.
The addition of a child requires an extra effort on both parents' part. The husband must be sure to earn enough money not just for 2 people, but for 3. And the wife must take on the additional task of caring for the child, while still keeping her home and serving her husband.
Finally,
Hey,
I have to go. You have to watch Evelyn.
wait, what?
I'm going out. I'm already late. You have to watch her.
You didn't tell me you were going out.
I didn't know I was.
Well, where are you going?
I'm just going out with some friends of mine.
No, I have an unbelievable amount of reading and studying to do.
Danny, I've been dying to get out of the house all day. I've just been sitting here doing nothing, just holding her and feeding her.
Well, I can't.
They asked me to go out with them and I'm going to go. I need adult company.
They're not adults, they're college students.
They're the same age as you are.
Well, I'm in a slightly more adult situation than most of your college friends.
Well, I'm going and there's nothing you can do about it.
Wait, Ruth, no, you can't.
Danny, I need to get away and have a drink.
I have to study, Ruth.
I'm sorry, but too bad.
No, listen, I'm already struggling with the kid and medical school. You have to help me out here, please. I might fail. I really, really need to study. Okay, you can go out any other night, and I'll stay here and I'll watch her, but not tonight. I have to read or I'm going to be in trouble. No, absolutely not. You cannot go.
I can't?
No, you can't.
Okay, fine. I won't go.
Thank you.
It's too bad. I was gonna go out tonight and be in a really good mood. And since I'd be in such a good mood, and a little drunk, I was gonna come home and screw you senseless.
Well, when Evelyn goes to bed, we can spend some time together. I know things have been rough lately.
But I guess there won't be any of that tonight.
No, I mean, we still can. When she's in bed and I'm done reading.
I'm not gonna be in the mood if I've been watching her all night. And I'll probably be so furious at you for trapping me in this house that it'll take me weeks to get over this and forgive you.
But that's not fair.
It isn't. But I guess that's just the way my moods go. I'm not going to be in the mood for a while. And it's too bad because I know how you're always begging for it.
Oh, Ruth.
It has been a while. Might be a while longer. You're not going to be able to make much of a case after this one. Have you reconsidered?
I guess I could try to read while I watch. Or...
You can figure it out.
Let me just get changed.
You know, you really have some nerve telling me what I can and cannot do.
No, I wasn't telling you.
Maybe you were.
I just needed to study. I mean, I still do.
You have really upset me. Really upset me.
I said I would stay. You can go.
Just remember, you got a weekly allowance. I know you're a smart guy. You should know better than to bite the hand that feeds you.
I didn't.
Let's just hope I'm in a better mood when I get back.
Of course, there are always some couples that can't seem to get it right. There are always some couples that continue to have problems, big problems, well beyond those experienced by normal couples. There are always some couples who fail to follow the rules. I hate these couples. Apparently, trivial little things like marriage and family aren't important enough to them. Abigail Lawrence is softly crying after returning home from nursing school, hardly even able to pay attention to her studies. What's the matter, Abby?
I just wanted to be the perfect wife and mother.
Well, you can go ahead and erase that illusion.
But I didn't know it would be like this. Did I do something wrong?
Abby, you've done a lot of things wrong. Daniel Henry is sitting on the floor of his living room. It's the pathetic side of a young man who's losing control of his marriage. And you, Danny?
I just figured out why people become alcoholics.
Think alcohol is going to solve all your problems?
Me thinks it's healthy.
Maybe, but it's not going to change the fact that you're an effete academic whose wife walks all over him like a stampeding herd of elephants.
Whoa, effete? Did you just call me effete?
But that's what you get for marrying the Iowa City Tallulah Bankhead.
Hey, go back, I'm sorry. How am I effete?
The classical music, the reading books, the allowing your wife to control you.
No, she doesn't control me.
Danny, do you think lumberjacks and cowboys listen to Rachmaninoff? Do you think lumberjacks and cowboys wear eyeglasses?
I mean, if they need...
No, they don't. Lumberjacks and cowboys are real men. You're the pussy-whipped pansy whose wife has you on the wrong end of a leash.
Whoa.
And don't think that alcohol is going to solve your problems, because it doesn't solve anything. Just ask Judy Garland.
Oh, you're an asshole!
Abby, didn't I tell you how to be a homemaker? Didn't I tell you everything you needed to know?
I just want things to get better.
You must solve these problems.
How?
Clean and cook.
I tried, no, I really tried.
Well, then you must try harder. And Daniel, get that woman under control.
You get her under control.
I'm sorry, what was that? I have a hard time hearing four-eyed milksops who can't do their duties as husbands. Well, it's never too late, even for you. All problems in marriage can be solved. They must be. Any disgrace and shame that you now feel will only increase if you do not somehow solve these problems. It is your only means left for individual happiness, and it's your duty to society. Fortunately, like the jagged edges of newly formed sedimentary rock, many of life's problems steadily erode away in the torrential currents of the epochal, flowing watercourse of life. Let's see if our subjects are doing any better in time. Here we find them 2 years later.
Is this,
Oh, no, go ahead.
Thanks. I just started recently. Smoking. It's a bad habit. Never start.
I won't.
Good. I started on an impulse and now I can't stop. I should know better too.
You're a doctor.
Thank you for thinking I'm a doctor. Most people think that I'm a volunteer from the high school wearing the wrong jacket.
Well, why'd you start? I mean, what was the impulse?
My wife takes a sting off of being married to her.
Maybe I should start smoking.
Oh, you understand? You have a wife?
Husband.
Oh, no. Would you like a cigarette?
No thanks. Yeah, I never used to drink caffeine before I was married, but now I drink soda pop. Sure it has something to do with him.
I mean, there's a lot they don't tell you, huh?
What do you mean?
I mean, when you're growing up, there's just a lot they don't tell you about getting older and growing up.
You wanted to know?
I would have liked to know, yeah. That should be a part of childhood, actually. Like the tooth fairy. You know, I lose a tooth, but instead of a penny, I get a note. Someday you'll have to smoke to cope with your marriage. That would have been worth more to me than 1 cent. No, I guess it would have been better not to have known.
You only got pennies?
Oh, I actually didn't get anything. If you knew my parents, you'd understand.
I guess I spent most of my childhood just thinking about what I wanted my life to be like.
Well, how much did you get?
Nickels, but I was my mother's favorite. If you knew my sister, you'd understand. I'm just kidding.
What did you dream about?
I guess I always wanted to be a wife and a mother, cook for my husband, have kids, take the kids to school, put the kids to bed, and share a nice warm bed with my husband, and sleep in all morning when it was cold outside.
That must be a woman thing.
I think it is.
It sounds nice though, it just didn't work out that way.
Well, I have a husband, and I cook for him and 2 kids, but no, I guess it didn't work out the way I imagined.
He hasn't made your dreams come true?
He has the same dream. At least, not with me.
I'm sorry.
I still love him, though. You know, he just hasn't made my dreams come true. What kind of doctor are you? You know, what's your specialty?
Oh, anesthesia.
That's great.
Yeah, I like it.
Kids?
I have 3.
Wow.
I know.
Wait, how much do they get?
They get dimes. Well, the twins, they're not there yet, but
Twins?
almost a year.
My husband and I only have 2, and I don't think we could handle another one.
Well, we can barely handle each other.
And that's why you smoke.
Right.
So, how do you end up with a wife that makes you smoke?
I don't know. You have to talk to that bitch, the tooth fairy. Hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't swear. I know, I guess I just have a grudge, you know? Someone has to be accountable.
Is it really that bad? Well, how'd you meet your wife?
I was very young. Started college when I was 16. I met her when I was in my first year. She was a graduate student.
Oh,
We got married when I was 18. She was 25.
wow.
Now she's 30 and I'm 23.
Oh, me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Guess she just isn't very nice to me.
Do you love her?
There are feelings. I don't know if it's love.
Oh.
I'm sorry, is this too personal?
No, it's nice, you know, I mean, how often do you get to actually relate to people, you know?
Hardly ever.
I still have hope that Mason, that's my husband, that he'll change, you know, and I fantasize that we can have that life I always dreamed about.
I do the same thing.
But I guess it's time to give up on dreaming, right?
No, don't give up. I mean, just have new dreams.
Like what?
I don't know. Who says you can't start dreaming about something new?
You're right.
Oh, yeah, wow. Anyways, I finished my cigarette ages ago.
Yeah.
Should get back inside. What was your name, by the way?
Abigail, but Abby.
Daniel, but Danny.
Dr. Henry.
Ooh, don't call me that. Hey, whatever happens, just keep on dreaming about something.
Yeah, you too.
Maybe I'll see you around.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's nice chatting with you.
Yeah, you too.
Hello.
Hi. Did you have a nice day?
One. How was yours?
What?
Day.
Oh, it's fine. The girls are asleep?
That's great.
How's dinner? Yeah, it's funny actually. I made a late dinner. I actually just finished myself.
What are you doing awake?
We need to talk.
Are you drunk again, Danny?
I said we need to talk.
Well, I don't want to talk.
Evelyn told me something disturbing.
What did she say? That she thinks she's Joan of Arc? Because that would be disturbing.
Actually, she called me a spineless, deadbeat loser. She said that you say that about her. To her, apparently. She says that you can get me to do whatever you want me to do, and that I'm a spineless, deadbeat loser. Well, God damn it, Ruth! I mean, how can you say things like that?
She shouldn't repeat things like that.
That's irrelevant. Is that what you really think of me? I mean, is that what you really think of me?
You're just drunk, Danny.
Fuck you!
Don't swear at me.
God damn it, I mean, how can you say things like that to her?
So what are you going to do? Are you going to leave me?
What?
Is that what you're going to do?
What are you talking
leave
about?
me.
I'm not!
You'll be penniless.
Just stop
You'll
it!
be
Okay,
alone.
just stop! Okay, so just forget about me. Okay, but you can't do that to your own children. They can't hear things like that, and it's not good for them.
I know what's good or not good for my kids.
Oh, do you?
I do a lot for them.
You do. You do, of course.
I change their diapers, I cook them food, I buy them clothes, and I'm doing grad school on top of this, so don't tell me I don't do anything.
No, I mean, do you understand this? I mean, what are you doing?
I love them.
You've ruined your life. You've ruined my life. And now you're ruining your own children's lives because fucking up your own just wasn't good enough.
I'm not ruining anyone's life. My life is fine.
Really?
My life is fine. If you think your life is ruined, that's your own fault. And how dare you say that I'm ruining my kids' lives? I am a good mother!
Daddy? Daddy?
What's the matter?
Daddy, why are you yelling?
Evelyn, go back to bed.
I heard you yelling.
We were just having a little discussion. We didn't mean to scare you. Did we scare you?
Yes?
Daddy was just accusing Mommy of being a bad mother. You think I'm a bad mother? Do you think I'm a bad mommy or a good mommy?
You're a good mommy.
And doesn't Mommy love you?
Yeah?
Daddy thinks I'm a bad mommy.
Why do you think she's a bad mommy?
Ruth.
That's what we were yelling about. He said that I didn't love you and that I'm a bad mommy.
What are you doing?
Well, that's what happened, isn't it? Isn't that what just happened?
Please don't do this.
Daddy hates Mommy. Daddy thinks Mommy is bad and he hates her.
Why do you hate mommy?
I don't hate Mommy, okay? I love Mommy and I love you.
Bullshit.
Don't say that.
I'll say what I want to say.
Listen, Evelyn. Mommy and I are just having a little talk. You should go back to bed, okay?
I don't want to go back to bed. I'm scared.
How about you go back to bed and I'll be back in a few minutes and say goodnight.
No, you won't. Mommy will.
I always give her a kiss goodnight.
Well, I want to.
Don't fight, please don't fight.
We're not fighting.
Daddy's picking on Mommy. Daddy wants Mommy to feel bad.
Stop saying things like that.
She deserves to know.
Listen, Evelyn, I'll just walk you back to bed right now. Is that okay? Do you want me to carry you?
I'll carry her.
I'm trying to solve this.
I want to carry her back to bed.
I will. It'll just be easier.
Stop yelling at me. Walk. I will just walk back to bed.
Good night, honey.
Good night, Daddy. Are you still gonna come in a few minutes and give me a kiss goodnight?
Yes.
Good night, Mommy.
Good night.
You're pathetic.
I want you out of this house.
No.
It's my house. My dad paid for it, and it's my house.
Well, we're married, and I want half of whatever your dad gave you.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna divorce me? You'll be all alone. Is that what you want?
Yes.
I'm not going to let you have the kids. I'm not going to let
Please,
you have
please.
anything.
All right, just leave.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Danny. Fine. Mason,
Yes?
Do you have dreams?
Like when I sleep?
Like in life?
I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about.
I have dreams.
That's great. Yes?
Do you love me?
Yes?
Are you sure?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Mason?
Yes?
Are you having an affair?
No.
Oh. I just thought you might be, because we haven't made love since Melissa was born, so I thought maybe you were making love with someone else.
No, never.
But then you know what? I thought that's okay. Because he probably needs it, It's probably nice for him.
Abigail, what's the matter?
Nothing. Mason, I don't love you anymore.
What?
It just occurred to me. Tonight, actually.
What happened tonight?
Nothing. Nothing happened tonight. So, tomorrow when you go to work, I'm just gonna take the kids and I'm gonna go stay with my mother for a little while.
I don't think I was ready for all of this.
Wish you could have told me all that sooner. We could have saved each other a lot of trouble. I'm gonna go clean the kitchen.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey there, little girl.
Hello.
Are you having fun playing?
I am. I'm playing hopscotch. Sort of. Except I don't have any of the squares. Or the rock. I'm just using my imagination.
That's wonderful. Evelyn,
Yes?
do you know what divorce is?
My mommy and daddy are divorced.
But do you know what it is?
It's when your parents decide to live in separate houses. Is that right?
Whoa, that's a pretty thick euphemism.
Oh, what?
A euphemism.
What's that?
A euphemism is something that parents tell their children when they don't want them to know the truth.
Is it like a lie?
Yes. Parents often lie to their children to keep from them what's really going on. They'll make up a nice little lie that seems true to cover up the mean, nasty truth.
Oh, I see.
For example, when your mother and father are yelling at each other and they say they are just having a discussion,
That happens a lot.
they're really fighting.
Fighting?
Yes.
But isn't fighting mean?
Yes. Your parents were really fighting with each other and being mean, hoping to hurt each other and make the other one feel bad.
My parents would never be mean.
Yes, they would be, and they are. They use euphemisms to lie to you so that you don't realize that they're mean, or that they're quitters. You see, Evelyn, divorce means that two people who were married and vowed to live the rest of their lives together, through better or worse in sickness and in health, have failed to fulfill their vows. Instead of thinking about each other or their children, like you, Evelyn, they only think of themselves. Instead of working through their problems, they've given up. They want to be unhappy and lonely for the rest of their lives, and hurt you, and hurt America. That's what divorce really means.
Oh no! I thought my parents just wanted to live in separate houses.
Let me explain to you how it all works. Usually, the first step is that the parents separate and don't live together anymore.
My parents did that.
Yes, they did. Then comes the mess. They first have to go to court, and court is for criminals.
Will my parents go to jail?
There have been certain times in history when divorce was a punishable crime. Seeing each other in court can be awkward for both parties, as it is often the first time the two have seen each other since they have decided to get the divorce.
Hello, Abigail.
Hi, Mason.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
You know, only one man in the state of Iowa has won custody rights of his children in a divorce custody battle. And that's only because his wife had been previously institutionalized for sticking shards of glass up her vagina.
I like my chances.
What is that glass?
Never mind.
Was that euphemisms?
Married couples in distress don't often use euphemisms with each other. Your parents especially do not. In court, they must cite fault or reason for the failed marriage.
Reconcilable differences, Your Honor.
Agreed.
He was a selfish, spineless alcoholic who disrespected my personal decisions, spent my father's money with little regard, and condescended to me because he had a job, and I didn't.
What?
You're not supposed to talk to me directly, Danny. This is court.
Irreconcilable differences.
Yeah, try and prove it. You have no case.
A judge listens to both sides of the story and sometimes takes testimony from third parties. Sometimes children like yourself, Evelyn.
I don't want to go to court.
But it is avoided at all costs. Children should never be punished for having self-absorbed, undedicated parents. Not even parents like yours. Then they divide up the property accordingly, and it's on to the custody of the children.
I request full custody of the children, Your Honor.
I concede custody rights.
I request full custody.
Full custody.
When both parents fight for full custody, there is even more of a battle, and there follows even more unethical lying, manipulating insults, and petty accusations. Fortunately, your parents are already very good at this.
He was an alcoholic.
She manipulated me and the children. She told them certain things that would turn them against me and that she could use against me.
Well, I wasn't going to tell them anything they could use against me.
She refuses to grow up and get a job.
I like education.
She would go out and party 4, maybe 5 times a week and leave me alone to take care of the kids.
Kill me for having a social life.
Sometimes I would be on call, come home, and realize that she never picked the kids up from the babysitter the night before. So I would go there, pick them up, and pay the poor girl extra for keeping them overnight.
That was only when I was too drunk to drive. I think I was doing the responsible thing. He spent my father's money on beer.
We were married, it was our money, I did the shopping, and sometimes I bought myself beer.
I love them, and I would be a better mother because I love my kids. They were in my womb. I think it's a crime to take a mother away from her children.
I did the shopping. I made them food. I dropped them off and picked them up from the babysitter. I told them I loved them, and I kissed them before they went to bed.
Then the judge considers both sides.
No shot, buddy.
Okay.
And finally comes to his decision.
I was awarded full custody of the kids.
I don't think I was ready to be a father.
He got the house.
I have to pay child support and alimony.
But still, I'm a little sad that he didn't fight for weekends or anything.
She's a good mother.
But we never fought, so I guess it makes sense.
The judge ruled heavily in my favor. I got the house and custody of the kids. She fought for and received the right to take the kids every other weekend. Oh God, I shudder at the thought of those weekends.
I'm appealing to a higher court.
I don't know what I ever saw in that woman. I really am the only second man in the state of Iowa to win custody of his kids. I guess I saw that she's on the same level of sanity as a woman who sticks glass up her crotch.
And then they are divorced.
Oh, hi, Abby.
Hi.
What are you doing here late at night?
I started working the night shift a couple times a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is my lunch break at 3 in the morning. Are you on call?
Yeah, nothing's happening, so I thought I would try to get something to eat.
Kind of stinks being here so late at night, doesn't it?
Yeah. Actually, I kind of like it.
No, me too.
This is the only time I ever have alone, as long as it's not a busy night.
Me too.
I don't have to worry about my kids. It's usually really quiet out here, and I get to sleep all day tomorrow.
That is exactly why I started volunteering to work it. It's the only time I get away from my kids.
Not that I don't love them.
I live for my kids, so it's...
It's like, I don't know, a mini vacation.
Yes, yeah.
You know, most of the doctors, it takes them 3 days to recover. I come back refreshed.
Me too.
I don't get sleep at night anyways.
I just bring books.
I usually read the paper. I don't know what happens in the outside world once every 2 weeks. We mustn't tell anyone.
No.
Dude, if our secret gets out, I don't know what they'll do to us.
I don't like it that much, you know, just a little bit.
Yes.
Weren't you gonna get something to eat?
In a minute.
I just bring food from home.
How are your kids?
Oh, The older one still hasn't forgiven the younger one for being born yet.
Oh, I see.
How about you?
Oh, they should be in prison.
There should be a small prison for small children.
No, they really do horrible things to each other. The twins, they have this alive. Anyway, this is terrible. They should really go to jail for the things they do to each other. And to me.
Oh, no.
No, I mean, yes, they should be in jail.
That's so funny.
Hey, how's your husband?
Oh, no more husband anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry.
Are you doing okay?
Great. Yeah. How's your wife?
Oh, I'm divorced too. Oh, you're happy?
Yeah.
Good.
And you?
Good.
I love my job, so.
And I have my
Live
kids.
for my kids.
Other than that, all I need is call. Find a place to loan to the paper.
Me too.
Still dreaming?
What's there left to dream about?
You haven't given up, I hope.
Packer Henry, the emergency room. Packer Henry, the emergency room.
You didn't get anything to eat.
That's fine. It was nice seeing you again.
You too. You're back!
I got home late last night.
It's wonderful to see you. How was it?
It was wonderful.
She's been telling me all about it.
How's Dixon?
He's great. Now that you're both here, I have something to tell you.
Oh, yes?
I have big news.
Mm.
Dixon and I are having kids. Are you pregnant? No, we're adopting 2 kids.
You are going to be such a great mother, I know it.
From Africa?
Dixon's working with children in Africa, and there are these 2 girls he just absolutely fell in love with.
They're African.
The children over there, they need families to take care of them. I wish we could have taken all the children in Africa back to live in our home.
Are they colored?
Well, they're from Africa.
I think it's great, Cheryl.
I'm just trying to do my part to help save the world.
Children are such a wonderful gift.
Well, congratulations. You have a gay husband and 2 black kids. You saved the world.
Ignore her, okay?
How are you? How is everything?
Fine, I just work all the time and take care of the girls. So tired.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Good. Well, get some rest. Abby.
What?
There's something I have to talk to you about.
What?
It's about Cheryl.
Is everything okay?
I finally put it all together. All the causes, voting for Kennedy, and now these 2 colored kids from Africa. I think Cheryl's a communist.
Mother, Cheryl is not a communist, she's just liberal.
What's the difference?
After a divorce, prospects for happiness are quite dim for both parties. For a woman, her life is ostensibly finished. She will have to work to survive and take care of her kids. But no man will ever want her again, and she has no chances of remarrying. She's even ruined her chances of joining a convent. She will be a social outcast, forced to live and work alone for the rest of her life. She is in all senses ruined, and has lost her shot at happiness and acceptance in society. The man's prospects are a little brighter, but only slightly. No good woman would ever consider marrying a divorced man. There is always the shot, though, that he could work hard and make a lot of money and join the upper class. Maybe then, and only then, can he perhaps marry a young virgin from one of the lower classes. who would take the union purely for financial gain. A divorced man will most likely become a hermit and a miser, devoting his life to work and hoarding the money. And thus, our story concludes in disappointment. The end.
This is the third man I've met since I started this new dating service. He drove all the way down from Cedar Rapids. The dating service includes Cedar Rapids, Dubuque, Davenport, and even Iowa City. We were going to have dinner too, but there was ice, and he drove his truck off the road into a ditch. He pulled his truck out of the ditch all by himself, which I think proves he's really interested in me. I didn't catch a whole lot of the movie though, because we sat pretty close and I lost mobility in my neck, so I could really only see the bottom fourth of the screen, and even then, it pained. But still it was a nice time.
Sounds like it.
I mean, I'm not saying he's the one. I mean, we only saw one movie together, but I'd like to see him again.
What does he do?
He works for an elementary school.
Oh, teacher.
No, I don't think he's a teacher. I mean, you gotta give up on the doctors at some point, but he works for an elementary school.
I've been seeing someone.
Really? Who?
Well, he doesn't live in Iowa City.
Where does he live?
He's a student at the University of Illinois.
You drive clear across the state of Illinois so you can, with another man?
That's not easy, I used to see a guy in Kansas City.
Abby, have you been going out on dates?
No.
Well, why not? I mean, you're divorced and you have 2 kids, but I mean, if Jeremy here can date another man, I don't see why even you can't get dates.
Oh, that's mean. Don't be mean to her.
I've been going out on dates since I was 18. That's 37 years I've been going out on dates.
Why did you never get married?
Why, I never settle. I only want the best. And I'm not going to settle for any man who I don't think is the best. Although I would go out with just about anybody who's willing to take me out.
I just need someone who understands me and likes me back.
Abby, I think you should really try this new dating service.
Why should she join a service?
I mean, I tried other ones, but this one is really good. I mean, all you do is you send in your picture and you fill out a questionnaire, and then you select the men you're interested in, and then you get a booklet in the mail with the pictures of the other men and their answers to the questions. And then you select the ones you're interested in, and if they're interested in you too, then the service gives them your number, and then they call you up and ask you out on a date. I spend a lot of time waiting by the phone, but I just bring a good book and I wait by the phone. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to find doctors who use this sort of thing. I mean, it gets a little hard after the big 5-0.
Oh, I'll never be 50. I just can't believe I'll ever be that old.
No, you're either 50 or you're dead. Listen, Kathy, I really think you should try the service. I'm gonna give you the address. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, I gotta go on rounds. I'll be right back.
Can you believe her? I heard she's still a virgin. That's what Marie, the receptionist, said. Can you imagine having sex with Ellen? She would just stare at you because she can't move her neck. Don't join that stupid service. I mean, would you really want to be a part of any service that would accept Ellen?
I'm going to.
Good. I just feel bad for that guy though, I mean, he drove all the way down here from Cedar Rapids and opened the door of some house to find that woman staring back at him. And there's only 2 things you do if you work in school and you're not a teacher. You either clean floors or you serve food. Oh, I was just telling Abby how my instincts are telling me that I really think this guy is going to be the one.
Well, we only saw one movie together. But he did drive his truck out of the ditch in the cold, just so he could drive all the way down to see me.
I really think it's going to happen for you. Bye, Ruth.
I know Jeremy talks about me behind my back, but I don't think his behavior's any much better. I mean, here he is, a handsome, nice young man. Any woman in Iowa City would be thrilled to have him as a boyfriend. But he has to drive clear across the state of Illinois so he can have sex with another man. I mean, he's going to be dead by the time he's 50. Listen, Abby, do you think you're still going to go on dates again?
I have a job and 2 kids, okay? I have other things to think about. Oh,
leave her alone. Don't join that stupid service.
It's not stupid. I just thought it'd help.
Well, maybe she doesn't need your help.
Well, I was just asking her questions.
Well, stop it then.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh, hi, Abby.
Oh, Danny. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine, yeah.
I came to see Dr. Osborne. Is he around?
I think he's in his office. Do you want me to grab him for you?
Oh, yeah, sure. He told me to drop by sometime today. It's about this meeting that a bunch of the doctors from the hospital are going to. I'm giving a talk.
Oh, I'll let him know that you're here.
Oh, the effective anesthesia on the kidney during post-traumatic emergency operating.
Oh, too bad I can't make it.
Yeah, it should be really interesting.
Oh, too bad.
He said you can go into his office now.
Oh, great. Thank you, Abby.
You're welcome.
You know him?
Oh, we met on the bench outside a couple years ago, and now every once in a while we see each other, say hi.
He seems nice.
He is.
I wonder if he goes out on dates. I mean, you could leave that question blank. I mean, it is a question, you know, and if you leave it blank, people are going to assume that you are divorced. Because who wouldn't fill it in if they were single and had never been married if that was actually the
So
case?
it's all set then. I'm excited to hear you talk.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it myself.
Have you ever been to Hawaii before?
No, this will be my first time.
Oh, doctors get to go to Hawaii.
Will you be bringing your wife along?
Oh, no wife. It'll just be me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, you automatically get 2 tickets for everything. 2 plane tickets, 2 people for the hotel and accommodations. All dinner reservations are made for 2 people.
That makes me feel bad.
No. You're young. You could meet a woman there, or take someone along.
Who could I take to Hawaii with me?
Well, sad to see you.
Yeah.
I'll go with you. Oh. You know, if you didn't have anyone else to go with, you know, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, and you know, if you didn't have anyone else, then you know, I would go with you.
You would go to Hawaii with me.
Well, sure. Why not?
Then maybe I do have somebody to go with.
Just tell them what names to book the tickets under, Danny.
Never give up on dreaming, right?
No, right. Well, if we're going to Hawaii together, maybe we should get some dinner first.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
I think so too. Thursday night, I'm off early. Is that fine?
That's perfect.
Perfect. Then we can figure out the details later in the week.
Yeah. Good. Okay, yeah.
I will see you later.
Yeah.
I will keep in contact.
Okay, yeah, goodbye. Bye, Danny.
Goodbye, Abby. I'll see you
Bye.
very soon. Bye, Abby. I'll see you soon. Bye.
I'm going on a date on Thursday! Probably going around.
Damn it!
What?
I was gonna go myself. If you could put it on my sentence, it was on the tip of my tongue. Well, guess I'll just keep waiting by the phone. Stupid Cupid, you're a real mean guy.
evening.